Boyle, Ryle, and their daughter Nyagak depart their native nation due to violence in the opening scene of the movie, South Sudan. They manage to board a tiny jam-packed boat bound for Britain. All on board fall into the water as the boat flips over. Boyle and Ryle are shown in a jailhouse in the next scene of the movie. There is no Nyagak. Government officials call them and let them know they are lucky. They have been given exclusive use of a complete 2-story row house. Even better, they are not required to provide it to any other refugee. The panel informs them that they are not allowed to work while their citizenship application is still being processed and that they must stay in the designated residence. Boyle and Ryle will probably be given citizenship provided they blend in with the local British population and abide by the law according to them. Ryle and Boyle are carried into the little house. They are welcomed inside by Mark, a social worker. Although it is in disrepair, the house is entirely theirs. Mark claims it is larger than his. The new pair is liked by Mark, who reaffirms that if they are properly and establish themselves as one of the good ones, they must start a new life in Britain. Boyle is excited about the fresh start, but Ryle is still cautious. With the help of the beads on one of her Nyack dolls, Ryle creates a necklace. Boyle hears hammering inside the wall that night and voices within the home. He thinks he sees a ghost as he looks at an uncovered area of the wall, but a bird takes flight from the wall. Boyle attributes the occurrence to the bird. The pair observes the rundown neighborhood the next morning. When Boyle goes to toss their trash in the trash, the neighbor gives him a look. Boyle goes outside to have his hair trimmed. Boyle, it turns out, doesn't even know where they are in Britain. Some neighbors ask him to attend a soccer game at their church. On the way home, Boyle picks up the British soccer chant and song in order to support his country's squad. Ryle is disappointed with Boyle's endeavors when he gets home. Boyle hears noises coming from beyond the walls once more that evening. When he goes downstairs, he notices that some wallpaper has fallen off, exposing a sizable hole. Soon can be found in the pit. A goat sneaks up behind him as he tugs on the sewed strand. Nyagak's doll is at the end of the sewed rope. The doll is subsequently grabbed by a corpse who emerged through the wall. When Boyle shuts his eyes, the wall is still in its original position. He works all night, removing the wallpaper of the house walls. Ryle awakens to find Boyle gone and wallpaper spread over the floor. She has a vision of their flight from South Sudan. As she finishes cleaning, she steps outside to visit a neighborhood clinic. She is unable to leave the complex since the street seems to alter and trap her. She grows increasingly disoriented and is terrified of the neighbors. Finally, she goes up to some black youths and asks for assistance. They assisted her, but they also make fun of her accent and advise her to return to Africa. Ryan is given a clean bill of health at the clinic. She tells the nurse that the elevated tattoos on her and Bo's bodies represent their own tribes. Due of the fighting, Ryan received tattoos representing both opposing tribes of data attacks. This, however, also meant that she never felt quite at home any place. Ryle only replies that they lost Nyagak on the flight to Britain. When the nurse inquires about her, Ryle does grocery shopping before heading back home. The widespread "come" may be heard coming from inside the walls. A page follows the voice's instruction and rolls into the wall-to-floor opening as she observes it. Then she hears a lot of voices talking to her. Will offers his regret when he gets back home. He discovers that Ryle has prepared a traditional dinner and laid it out on the mat, much like they did in Africa. Bo tells them they must begin eating at the table in order to fit in and pushes them to use cutlery rather than their hands, which is their customary method of eating. He is adamant about using English. He hears a folktale from Ryle about a man who desired a house so badly that he stole from others to acquire it. The man and his home were subsequently cursed and destroyed as a result. She then tells Bo that she has seen the ghost in their home. Bo denies seeing the ghost. Ryle calls him a liar and says that they must repay their debt to break the curse. Bo hears voices again that evening. He starts to hack the wall apart. He hears voices and music from Africa as he moves. He notices several spirits all about the home. Then Nyagak, who is wearing a tribal mask, begins to assault Bo. He runs away from home. When he returns, he argues that one of the items from his native land is the source of their misfortune. Bo's gathered all the items they brought back from Africa and sets them all on fire. He grabs her by the neck and pulls off the necklace Ryle created with Nyagak's bead. She begs him to keep her connection to her home intact. Nevertheless, he throws the necklace into the flames. Bo goes to the mall where he shadowed the old time by the mall security and buys Western-style clothes. When he returned home, he repairs all the wiring in the house, wounding his hand in the process. The walls are now full of gaping holes. When he finishes, he finds Rael talking to an unseen presence. She is discussing returning home to South Sudan. Bull angrily sets the table for dinner and tells Rael she must integrate into the British community. She responds that the ghosts have promised that if she complies with their wishes, they will reunite her with Nyagak, and that she should be afraid of Bull. Bull discovers he has been transported within a vision and eats his food furiously using silverware. At sea by himself, dead bodies floating in the sea get closer to him. He is still being attacked by the spirit after the vision ends. Every time he turns on the light, they vanish and he fights to illuminate his entire home. While Nyagak screams because she can't swim, the ghosts cry out that it can't breathe. Bull notices the ghost creeping behind the wall after all the lights are turned off. More holes are smashed in the walls as he yells at them to go. Bull visits Mark and asks for new housing. Mark is skeptical of the request given that their home is bigger than his. Noting Bull's wounded hand and disheveled appearance, he says they will need to conduct an investigation. They go to Bull's house and see all the holes. Bull claims it is the result of vermin. Because Mark believes in Bull, he says he is willing to issue only a warning so long as things are straightened out. Rouse then walks out of the bedroom, dressed in the Sudanese clothing and necklace that Bull had burned. She tells Mark that the apartment has been destroyed because they are being hunted by ghosts and a witch. Mark says he's going to report the couple to the supervisors, with the implication being they will be sent back to South Sudan. When Mark leaves, Bull and Rael fight with each other over where they belong. When he goes out for air, Bull's neighbor tells him he should just leave the home as they will be sent back to Africa no matter what. Bull destroys all of the window and door knobs in his new house in an effort to prevent Rael and him from leaving, since he won't give up on it. He then extinguishes the candle and requests a conversation with the spirit. The butcher, a ghost or witch, approaches him. The Yogak and Rael will be reunited according to the witch if Bull offers himself as a sacrifice in order to settle his debts. Bull declines and understands that the witch cannot hurt him directly. Bull is startled by the witch's vision of a ghostly Nyagak drowning in the water, despite the fact that she is powerless to harm him physically. Meanwhile, Rael ratchets a window handle and crawls out of the home. She ends up in the vision that she is back in South Sudan. She greets all of her friends in a tearful reunion. However, she is then approached by the witch. The witch forces Rael to remember the truth of her past, which she had repressed. We see that Rael and Bull survived an attack by one of the warring tribes that left most of their friends and family dead. They, along with other refugees, flee to a bus to be taken out of the war zone. Rael and Bull are denied entry onto the bus as the workers are prioritizing the evacuation of families with children. Rael and Bull do not have any children. Bull sees Nyagak in the crowd and grabs her, claiming that Nyagak is their child. They are led on the bus just before it departs. Nyagak's real mother sees Nyagak onto the bus and pursues it, screaming out for her daughter. The bus does not stop, and the mother is left behind. Rael swears to protect their new daughter. The trio is eventually placed on a boat to Britain. However, it capsizes and everyone begins drowning. A rescue raft shows up. Bull is one of the few people who can swim. He grabs Rael and swims with her to the rescuers. Nyagak and many others drown. The ghosts are of all the people, including Nyagak, that died so that Rael and Bull could live. The witch explains that if Rael delivers Bull to him, he will reunite Rael with Nyagak. Bull is waiting for Rael as she returns to the flat. She reaches for the kitchen knife but finds it difficult to kill Bull. Bull, though, seizes the blade and cuts himself. He is prepared to give his life in order to atone for his actions and return Nyagak. Bull freely acknowledges his sins. The floor rips open as Rael exits the chamber and the witch emerges from the dead. The witch starts eating Bull. Nyagak arrives and grabs Rael's hand as Bull is devoured. As Rael hears Bull dying, she realizes that her home is with him. She tells her deceased friend and Nyagak that she must return home. Rael then grabs the knife and slays the witch. Bull is saved. In the future, Mark and his manager show up for another inspection. The house is neatly, if sparely, furnished, and all the holes in the wall have been fixed. The inspectors appear to be willing to let Rael and Bull stay, despite their irritation. Mark queries Rael about the incident, apart from his co-workers. Rael claims that she murdered the witch. She claims that because the ghosts are an integral part of who they are, they will always be with them. However, the two declare that they will coexist with the spirit while they build a new life together. Bull and Rael are shown in the movie's epilogue, sitting quietly with their spirits. We have made it this far. In appreciation, please like, subscribe, watch other recaps, and share with your loved ones.